Mucho gusto. Yeah, nice to meet you. That we say mucho gusto.
Ine kanam sandosha.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And it means, may peace, mercy, and blessings be with you.
Nalulugod ako na mamit kita.
In Tamil, we will say, Ungala Sandichila Miga Magalchi, in Tamil. In Telugu, we say, Mimul Kalsinandaku Chala Bagundi.
Ungala Sandichila Miha Magalchi.
Kandadal Sandosham.
好高興認識你哋，好多謝呢個program 呢個節目嘅介紹人同埋呢個create 就係創造，即係做呢樣嘢嘅人，係多謝。
Добро пожаловать.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto en conocerlos.
Gusto de conocerte.
از آشنایی با شما خیلی خوشبختم.
Prazer em conhecê-lo.
Menije Set Injektion.
Schön dich kennenzulernen. Oder schön Sie kennenzulernen. Schön dich kennenzulernen.
از دیدن شما خوشحالم.
Nice to meet you, Portuguese. Prazer em conhecê-los.
I actually forgot how to say it.
She already forgot.
How is it, Alice?
Prazer.
Canada as a multicultural society. They accept different peoples with different cultures, different religions, and that's very important when you want to choose a new place to live. It should be a place that accepts you, that respects you, the way you think, the way you behave.
South Africa has a history of apartheid, which is systemic racism. It was formed as part of the government to segregate people, and so my parents were revolutionaries fighting against apartheid, and were exiled. So they came to Canada seeking political asylum, and they came as refugees.
I came to Canada. It was a conscious decision to come to Canada because after I had my kids, I had lived in Germany enough to put my daughter through high school to realize, okay, I'd like her to be able to experience different cultures because that's something I experienced in England. Not so much a case of the different cultures just to be from one singular culture, but the constant awareness that you're not in kind of a monolith of one type of culture.
We were here around 10 years ago, just for a visit for a couple of months, and we just instantly fall in love. So for a lot of years after that, we were just dreaming and speaking how we can come here and just live here. It was just love.
One thing that I always knew about Canada, that it was very stable and it was very welcoming to migrants, and I definitely thought that I would feel comfortable here. I wouldn't have to sort of, fight my way into it. It's just here they make you feel welcome immediately. It's something very unique about it. And I lived in different countries before. I never felt that.
Criteria to migrate to Canada was for the education of the kids. Accidentally, we saw this advertisement for Canada migration in the newspaper, and some of the agent was advertising, and then we thought, okay, let us try our luck.
People move here for their kids, for the freedoms and the opportunities that their kids can have. That no matter how good their life may have been in their home country, they never really feel as safe or that there is future for their children, and that's an amazing thing about Canada. You could be anybody and you could do well. So
I think we were fortunate. We didn't leave it because we had to go. So it's very entitled. We chose to go, right? That one hard thing was just leaving everyone behind. Left my parents behind. My father at the time was quite old, so literally thinking we might never see him again. And actually, sadly, that happened. I never saw him again.
I live Tri-Cities, and I really like the lifestyle, the access to the nature, and the peace of mind it gives. It's very enjoyable, both for me and for my child as well, because he plays with his friends on the streets, things that I did when I was his age 35 years ago. He does now, and it's just unbelievable for me. It's such a pleasure to see him play freely in the streets. That's probably the thing I like the most.
For me, then I thought you can almost reinvent yourself. You know, you start again, you like look at things in a different way, and I think that was quite nice.
Whenever I travel and people say, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm Canadian." When people ask me here, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm Indian." I never even actually realized that until a few years ago, that that's the way my reality is. That people here, no matter what, still see me as not from here. Even though I have no accent, even though my name is very Anglo-Saxon, it's still, I'm not from here.
For us to to pull ourselves up to the status that we had professionally speaking, that was certainly a challenge. And you know, that is something like starting from zero, it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of stamina. So that was the biggest challenge that we faced.
People having dinner at 5 or 6 p.m. That's something that is still like, in South America we normally have like a dinner at 8, 9 or 8, 10 p.m., right? So here, like when we were invited to dinner, we say, 6 p.m. We were always late because it's 6 p.m. and we have dinner at 6 p.m. But different cultural practices, right?
Both of us educated. She's got a master's, I got a master's. And I had a very good job in India as well as in Dubai because of my qualifications. I was actually working in a senior role in Dubai. I just worked there for 10 years. So it's well established. Finding a place, settling down was great. The people were very welcoming. The schools were amazing. The teachers were amazing. You know, the support system in this country is amazing. But for us to go find a job and establish yourself, that was the challenging part. Because your qualifications, your education do not count to what is needed here. Because you've got to have local experience.
One thing that I'm getting used to is the statics. I'm getting electric shocks everywhere.
In order to adapt the weather, we have to choose more warmer weather, so we choose Vancouver. Actually, I think we made a right decision because this is a beautiful city. Yeah, people are nice and the environment is nice. All surrounded by trees and flowers, especially in the summer, right? Just like today, the sun come out, while it's so bright and it's so make you cheerful.
A challenge that was hard is like to not see my family because I don't have like cousins here or anything or like my grandparents. So I'd say like that's like the biggest challenge.
Being without your regular social network, no more relatives, no more friends, and the parties, because coming from South America, everybody everything is very emotional. People are always getting together like every day. There's no reason for, there's always excuse to get together. So people are very friendly here, but we are like, we wanted more, and we miss that part.
Being independent is one of the good things that I learned right away when it came to Canada. I just graduated from college at that time, so I don't know a lot of things because, when you're studying back home, you focus on your studying in school. So those things are taken care of by your parents, So that's why I value the independence that I learned when it came to Canada.
After a few years, there's a moment that you start questioning. There's why are you here? But I think once you pass that kind of valley, then you realize that this is home now, right? And this is where you like. And of course, we will never forget our roots. We will try to go visit family and friends in Peru, and try to pass a lot of that cultural background to our daughter so she can be proud of her parents' culture. But we are very happy here. We're proud to say we're like happy Canadians here.
For a lot of the time, I felt very displaced, like one foot here, one foot in South Africa. When I'm there, I miss here, and when I'm here, I miss there, and I don't quite know where I fit in. For many years, I felt very unsure of myself, and so it's taken a lot of work to get to that point of I'm who I am. I don't belong to any particular class or color or creed, or I just am Z.
The challenges, they are there every day, the simple things, but the certainty of we can have faith here. I really believe that it's a path, and I'm walking through it, and when I get there, I mean, everything will be so amazing. It is already, but I see future. I see the future, you know, and that's so rewarding.
Standing up in a country where you didn't know anybody, and someone who doesn't know anything about you and just reached out for you. He picked us up, he took us to his home for a meal, and rest of the years to date he's been helping us with many things, and he was a great example for us to say this is how you reach out to somebody else who's come new, and we have done that.
Offer like some kind of mentorship, right? Like to new people coming here. So especially people who was born and raised here. I found that sometimes really it's kind of hard to connect with people born and raised here. So, like Marta said before, you start doing your network normally against your people from your own country or other immigrants. That the idea, the knowledge you got from people born and raised here is like you know more the rules of the game here, right? How using the vision of the rules and more like the cultural stuff that you only get when you are rooted in one place, right? So maybe try to connect people born and raised in Canada with newcomers. I think there's a space there that's not covered.
The most important thing which I learned in this country is to go work in a retail atmosphere and learn about the culture, learn about the people, learn about interaction, learn about how to talk, how to, get that knowledge was so useful. I think that was my building block in this country. So working at the lowest level of going and pumping gas. So that was the starting point. But I learned about merchandising, I learned about ordering, I learned about people interaction, learned about customer service, be diligent on time. It gives me so many things which actually built. I learned about taxations. So there's so many good things you learn when you go there. So people don't realize it, but that's the building block. I think to any country, when you come into this country, you should realize that you should start off you should be able to go do anything to establish yourself. So if you have that attitude, there is no limit in what you can achieve in this country.
I'd say it gets better. If it's not good, it gets better.